Imagine this. You have a vehicle sitting in your garage right now that you legally own, but you can't drive it, insure it, or sell it. Why? Because somewhere along the way, the title disappeared. And without that piece of paper, your local DMV won't touch it. Here's the good news. There's a legal process called bonded title recovery that can get you a new title, and you can use it from any state. Here's the problem. This happens more than you'd think. You buy a car privately and the seller can't find the title. You inherit grandpa's classic truck that's been sitting for 20 years with no paperwork. You pick up a military vehicle that was never titled for road use. A boat that's changed hands too many times. An off-road vehicle where the owner's manufacturer certificate got lost or doesn't meet DMV standards. In every case, you legally own the vehicle, but you're stuck. Well, there's a solution. No matter what state you live in, there's a legal path to get your vehicle titled, and it goes through Montana. Here's why. Montana offers something called a bonded title. It's a specialty type of title issued when there's a break or missing link in the chain of ownership. And unlike most states, Montana allows this process to be done entirely remotely. Now, you might be wondering, how can I register a vehicle in Montana if I don't live there? Well, that's where we come in. We help you form a Montana LLC, a simple legal entity that becomes the owner of your vehicle. The LLC satisfies Montana's residency requirement, which means you can legally title and register from anywhere in the country. It's the same process thousands of RV owners, collectors, and everyday vehicle owners already use, and it works just as well for title recovery. So, how does the bonded title actually work? A surety bond is placed on the vehicle. Think of it like an insurance policy that protects against future ownership claims. If someone comes forward within 3 years saying they're the rightful owner, the bond provides financial recourse. After 3 years with no claim, the bond releases and you're left with a standard clean title. No asterisks, no restrictions. So what qualifies? Any passenger vehicle, truck, RV, motorcycle, or trailer that's 11 or more years old is a candidate for remote bonded title recovery. And check this out. If you have an off-road vehicle or watercraft that's never been titled before, like a UTV, ATV, dirt bike, or boat, you can use this service regardless of age. Pretty cool, right? Why these categories? Newer on-road vehicles require a physical inspection by Montana law enforcement, which would mean traveling there. By focusing on vehicles that don't require that step, we handle everything remotely while you stay home. A few things will disqualify a vehicle. It cannot have any active liens or theft records on file. And if there's a salvage record, the vehicle needs a more recent rebuilt or reconstruction title history record to clear that history. We run a VIN report to check all of this up front, and so does the state, so there are no surprises. Let's cover how it works. Here's the simple version. We send you a checklist before you pay anything. You complete a few items, take some photos, and send them back. If everything checks out, we'll send an invoice to move forward. From there, we handle the rest. LLC formation, paperwork, bond, DMV submission, and your vehicle gets registered. Let me break down what's on that checklist. First, a VIN inspection. This gets completed by your local police department or DMV inspector. Most people get it done free with a non-emergency call. Second, a Montana bill of sale. This establishes a new chain of ownership by transferring the vehicle from you personally to your Montana LLC. You sign as the seller and get that signature notarized. If your LLC isn't formed yet, leave the buyer section blank. We'll fill that in once it's active. The notary only needs to verify your signature as the seller, releasing interest in the vehicle. Third, a few photos, your ID, each side of the vehicle, the VIN plate, and the odometer if the vehicle is a model year 2011 or newer. Send us those items and we handle everything from there, remaining paperwork, the surety bond, and DMV submission. Now let's cover the timeline. Once your LLC is active and we have the bill of sale, we can issue a temporary tag within 1 business day, good for 40 days. After we have your completed checklist in hand, registration typically processes within 3 business days. The state prints your title shortly after and we mail it directly to you. So, what about insurance? Most clients insure the vehicle in their home state and simply add the LLC as an additional interest on their policy. Just make sure your provider knows where the vehicle is primarily garaged. Do not tell them you primarily keep the vehicle in Montana unless you actually do. Honesty is key. Insurance isn't required for registration, but you'll want coverage before you hit the road. Now, I'm sure you're asking what this will cost. Pricing depends on the type of vehicle and its value. Motorcycles and smaller vehicles cost less, while cars, trucks, and RVs are a bit more. The bond fee is based on your vehicle's NADA value. Reach out to us and we'll be happy to quote everything up front before you commit so there are no surprises. The good news, most vehicles using title recovery qualify for permanent registration, meaning you'll pay once and never renew. Heavy trucks like Ford F-450s and up are the only exception. They'll owe annual weight fees. If you're new to the channel, we're Zero Tax Tags, a Montana-based registration service that helps thousands of people nationwide get titles on vehicles that seem impossible to register. If you've got something collecting dust because of title issues, this is your path forward. Give us a call.